Hello friends, today I wanted to share with you the last 10 books that I read for the last 10 books that I read for 2020. I ended up finishing the 10th book with about a day and a half of break before New Year's, so I'm gonna call it there. Anything else will be a 2021 read. The first book that I read was A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kemmer. It's book 2 in her Cursebreaker series. And this actually switches point of views to Gray and Liamara. It's a new couple. Gray was in the first book, Liamara was not. I ended up giving this 5 stars. I love Gray. I love Gray in the first one. I loved Gray in this one. I really liked Liamara. I absolutely adored this book. I don't want to give away any plot points because it does have a lot to do with book 1, but I read this knowing, my thought process was, I'm gonna go ahead and read this because I'm not gonna want to read book 3 right after, because I'm not a big fantasy reader, so I'm gonna need a break. So I read this about a month before book 2 comes out, and now I'm like dying for book 3. So I loved A Heart So Fierce and Broken. Next, I read Queen Takes Rose by Katie Robert. This is the conclusion to her Wicked Villain series. I think this has been the least like the source material or whatever you want to call it. This one is Aurora and Malone, or Maleficent, and I gave this one 4 stars. This was I was just so bored by this one. They've been hinting at it and I was bored with this one compared to the other ones. I wasn't bored, but they've been hinting at this one and kind of throwing these characters in there a little bit, and I just didn't know. I don't know what. I don't know. Something about it just didn't hit home for me. I did give it 4 stars though because I did enjoy it. Next, I listened to Birds of Paradise by Anne Malcolm. I gave this one 3 stars. This was a dark romance, but it was a very character-driven dark romance. There was a lot of self-discovery within the hero and heroine. And this is one that I was kind of bored in. Had I been reading it physically, I probably would have DNF'd, but I was listening to it I was listening to it as an audiobook at work, so I just kept, it was just just play it. Just play it, and it wasn't very long either. I think I finished it all in a night, so, it wasn't, I don't know. It was very character-driven, and in dark romances, I need there to be something happening in order for me to stay engaged with the book. I don't know. I think I would give Anne Malcolm another shot at her books. I follow her on Instagram for some reason. Not sure how that happened. I look really bright. Don't think that helped. Yeah, I follow her on Instagram for some reason, and she seems really cool. But I don't know how I started following her if I hadn't read her books until just now. But I do think I would give her books another shot. Then I read Bittersweet by Serena Bowen. This is book 1 in her True North series. This is a very well-loved book. This is a very well-loved series. I don't know what took me so long to read it. I gave this one 5 stars. So this is, I guess you'd consider it a second chance. They were hookups in college. I think they hooked up twice and then went their separate ways. And she works in Boston. She goes to Vermont for the restaurant company that she works with to try to get farmers to sell the restaurant company their produce and goods and everything. Her car breaks down at the drive to this farm that she's supposed to visit, and it's her former hookup. I loved this book so much. I loved it. I don't know. I really enjoyed their chemistry. I really enjoyed they have a farm. It's an apple orchard. He makes ciders, and I really enjoyed that aspect of it. She was a chef. I really enjoyed that. I loved the characters. I loved them together. I loved his family. I can't wait to read more of the books in this series. Then I read an ebook for Fables and Other Lies by Claire Contreras. I gave this one 4 stars. I did really enjoy the romance of it. It's a gothic romance, I believe. I'm not entirely sure what makes it a gothic romance. Need to do a little bit more research on that, but maybe I like them because I did enjoy this one. The heroine goes back to this like small island of her like hometown where they have all these like ghost mystery legend things. I don't. It's like 200 something. It's like 250 pages or something. I think it was like I read it on Kindle Unlimited. It was super short. I read it in one sitting. I was so drawn into this story. I loved the romance. I loved all the like mystery aspects of it. I just think it wrapped up a little bit too perfectly. I would have enjoyed a little bit more of the process of it wrapping up rather than just being like done. Now we're moving on to where the happily ever after is. So that was my issue with that one. So I've been on this. I haven't been on this journey very long, but I've been trying to read through Abby Glein's Rosemary Beach series. These were written in the early 2010s, and they are rough. I read Della and Wood's books, Simple Perfection and Twisted Perfection. No, Twisted Perfection was first, and then Simple Perfections. So this is Della and Woods. Woods is, I don't know, like they better not all be like this, because Rush and Blair were the same way too, where the hero is like a rich frat boy type, but oh, he's got a heart of gold. And the heroine is kind of a not so well off raised woman, girl, I don't know. But like, I don't know. I don't know. They're not anything special. I gave both of them 3 stars. With books like this, I take the story as a whole and rate it together, but each one individually gets rated. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say about these books. They're new adult. I don't know. Then I read Bound for Forever by Samantha Young. This is book 3 in her True Immortality series. This is about Neve and Keo. Neve is one of the Faeborn that's been, I don't remember if she was in book 1. I know for sure she was in book 2. She's kind of like gone off on her own. She's getting retribution for all these people who are doing things wrong. And Keo is sent to protect her because there's like a whole Fae world that the Faeborn can like open the portal, and it's a whole thing. So he's actually a werewolf, but he's an immortal werewolf. I gave this one 4 stars. I did really enjoy it. I don't know why. Just something held me back from giving it that 5-star rating though. Something about it just didn't. I was like, this is not a 5-star read. So then I read I listened to Lady Sophia's Lover by Lisa Kleypas. I don't know if I just didn't read the back of this, if I just saw Lisa Kleypas and bought it or whatever, but I definitely thought this was going to be one of the historical romances where a virgin decides she's going to take control of her life and she's going to lose her virginity, and it's not what it was at all. It's not what it was at all. Lady Sophia actually meets the hero because she starts to work for him. He works at, what was it called? The Bow Street Runners, I think is what he was in charge of. He's like a magistrate or something. And she actually goes to start working for him to, like, get payback for him sentencing her brother to prison where he died at. And like, I can't get into my issues with it without spoiling it. So if you want to know, leave me a comment and I will tell you. But I gave this one 3 stars because it was just ridiculous. And finally, the last book that I read was Radiance by Grace Draven. um, who is this? Like Avery from Avery Loves Books and Riley from Riley Marie rave about this book all the time. I've seen it on their videos so many times. And I was always just like, if I see it at like half price books, I'll pick it up. If I see it as a free ebook, I'll pick it up. It was actually on Scribd as an ebook available to read. So I clicked it, obviously. And y'all, this book was so good. This is a fantasy romance about, like, technically I think they're different species, but they're like the spare heirs. So they're they have like an arranged marriage to secure, what's the word? To secure a treaty. That's the word, between their kingdoms. And this was super cute. They, like, their species, like, don't like each other. They don't find each other attractive. They don't understand the food that the other eats. They don't understand the, like, facial expressions that the others make. But they actually meet and really hit it off as friends. They spend most of the book as friends. Well, maybe not most of the book, but they spend quite a majority of the book as. They spend quite a bit of the book as friends. And then it slowly progresses into lovers as they're married already. And I gave this one 4 stars. There were just some things about the world building that I didn't understand, but I think that's a me thing. I think that's on me and my reading. But yes, I adored this book. I will be picking up book 2 as soon as I can find it. I think there's a third book too. I think it's a trilogy. I need to look that up. So those are the last 10 books that I read to finish out 2020. How was the end of your year? Let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!